Google Home or Google Assistant, along with controlling your Evohome or several other Honeywell heating systems. In fact, not just Honeywell. A lot of these commands are going to be similar to other heating systems such as Nest and the rest of them, etc. Just wanted to show you how it works with Google Home and why, really, although it's natively integrated into Google Home and Google Assistant, IFTTT, if this then that, is the best way. IFTTT is an app, if this then that. It helps you integrate and automate a lot of your connected devices. And for various reasons I'm going to, except for a couple of exceptions, it's probably still the best way to integrate Evhome along with Google Home or Google Assistant. So just to go over it, of course, first thing you've got to do, you've got Evhome already or another Honeywell or other similar heating systems, you want to integrate it into Google Home. So you fire up your Google Home app. Go to Add, Set up Device. Now, you should already have your Evhome connected to the internet and with an Evhome or its Honeywell connected account. So you already have a login for your Honeywell connected online app. And then it says you've got new devices or works with Google, have something already set up. So you've already got that set up. I'm now searching for Honeywell, and it's Honeywell Total Connect Comfort INTL International, I guess. So I've now got to enter my login details for my Honeywell account. So I accept, log on to your already set up account, and it's going to come up with the thermostats or the zones you've already got integrated into your Evhome. So I'm going to select all my devices, and I have to tell it what room I want it to be added to. First one in my bedroom. And the same with the others, office for office, and which home you want it in. So I've got more than one home set up, so I have to choose my home. So they're now in my home app. So there are my 3 different rooms. So they could be individual thermostats, they could be zones, groups, and the thing is, it doesn't have to be in the same way that you've got your Evhome set up. So I have more than one thermostat for each group or room, as I've got it on there. I can change the room on here. And the thing is, because of the problems integrating Evhome into the Google Home app, and I'll get onto later, but especially when you start using quick actions, Google Home doesn't seem to be able to override that. It's easier if you have everything assigned to one room. So I'm just saying it's a workaround for the problems of the Google Home. You don't have to, you can still control them individually by adding them all to one room. So not adding them in the same way you've got them on your actual Evhome is one option open to you. So you've got it added. Your Google Home is set up, your Google Assistant is set up. What can you do without going through any other means such as IFTTT? What can I now do? Okay, so I can now say, and you'll notice actually, I've actually already got a custom mode set. So I've got my custom mode set on my Evhome. And there is problem number 1. Supposing I now want to go back to schedule. There are no schedule commands integrated into Google Home for Evhome. The workaround would be to say, turn on all thermostats.
Sorry, there was an error and I'm unable to control your home device.
It's throwing a fit because I'm in a custom mode and I've got 3 different thermostats in 3 different rooms. Wouldn't have been so bad if I had them set up on the same room. So you got it set up, what can you do with it? So just go over some of the basic commands. I'm going to say off the bat, before I do anything, when you use Evhome via Google Home, via Google Assistant, there is a big lag if you have all your rooms set individually to the actual corresponding rooms in Google Home that you've got in Evhome. So if I set living room to living room in the Google Home as well, So if all the thermostats are in their individual zones, you're going to get a big lag. So I'm going to show you the lag the first time I do it, and after that I'm going to try and cut the lag out because it's a big issue and we'll be here all night. So the first command to show you the lag and just give you an idea what it can do, this is purely via Google Home. I can tell it individually to adjust each room, and that's fine. But once you start wanting to adjust all zones, which you have to do by saying the word thermostat rather than just heating, if you use the generic term heating, turn on heating, etc., it's going to go for the default room being the first room you've got in your app. So if my bedroom is the first room and I don't actually give it any commands other than turn on heating, turn off, set temperature, blah, 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 it's just going to change that first default room, my bedroom. So I've either got to specify the room or I've got to say all thermostats. So I want to change the whole place at the moment and show you the lag. Set all thermostats to 25 degrees.
All right, setting 3 thermostats to 25 degrees.
And now you'll see the big delay for each room. I'm showing you this in real time. So you probably want to go out and make a cup of tea. So the first room has been set, and it's showing me that because it's got a phone icon. Still waiting for the other rooms. So the second room has now been set to 25 degrees and the third room is set to 25. Okay, so if you're carrying on your normal life, that delay may not be a huge deal. But if you want to go on to do several commands and you're watching what it's done, that's a big deal. Just quickly say, you won't get that delay if you integrate IFTTT and you start using your custom modes, which you can't do via Google Home. But just to give you a quick overview of what you can do with Google Home while pointing out the problems. Problem number one, even though I'm telling it in one command to do all the rooms, there's still a big delay in individual rooms. So we know it can set individual temperatures. Now that's, to me, the main advantage using Google Home, Alexa, all the others to integrate with the Evhome. You can just say the room temperature. You cannot do that via IFTTT. So that's the one thing I would say is the advantage in Google Home. And of course you can use both, you just don't mix up the commands. And I'm going to get on to IFTTT at the end. But that is the main thing about Google. I can set just the temperatures and just say the temperature. Bear in mind, you can say set heating to 21 degrees.
Sure, setting the heat on the bedroom to 21 degrees.
Now I only said one generic term, but it understands the difference between heating and thermostat, and it's setting up the default one, which in my app is the bedroom, so it's just going to change one bedroom to 21 degrees, and we're still waiting. And actually it hasn't. It's actually just set it back to the schedule. And this is the problem with Google Home. It's very, very flaky. It's, you know, that you get errors a lot. It will say there was an error. It doesn't understand the use of quick actions and how to overcome them. And I gave it a straightforward command. It didn't. I'll try that again. Set bedroom to 21 degrees.
Sure, setting the bedroom to 21 degrees.
This time it's worked. So saying the specific room worked, saying heating didn't. And that's the thing, it's really flaky. You can get there in the end most of the times, but a lot of times for no apparent real logical reason, it's just not integrating well. Maybe it's something that's going to improve over time. Right, I want to cut to chase and go over what are the commands you can use. So we know we can mix up heating, heat, thermostat, you know, set temperature to. So going through those, turn up the heating in the bedroom.
All right, warming the bedroom up.
So I told it to warm up the bedroom. It has done. It was on 23, it's now set to 26. So that's a takeaway. If you just say turn heating up, turn heating down, wherever you was, it will add or subtract 3 degrees. So in the Google Home world, changing your heating in any up or down means 3 degrees. Turn off all thermostats.
Alright, changing 3 thermostats to off.
So it's managed 2 of the thermostats, it hasn't managed one of them. You're getting the idea. It was turning them off and then telling me the phone signal. This is how flaky the integration is. 2 are off, 1 isn't. Turn on all thermostats. Turn on heat in my living room. Turn off heating in my office. Turn on heating in my office. Turn off all my thermostats. Turn on all my thermostats. Set all thermostats to 28 degrees. Turn up all thermostats. Turn down all thermostats. So at a basic level, it works okay. Bit flaky, but it works okay. The biggest problem is you cannot overcome quick actions. You cannot get back to schedule if you're in a quick action. For instance, you may have it turned off. As basic as that. It's turned off. I want to turn on my heating. I want to use my Google Home, my Google Assistant, because it's, you know, it's integrated now with Evhome, isn't it? So what could possibly go wrong? Okay, Google, turn on all thermostats.
Sorry, there was an error and I'm unable to control your home device.
Cannot overcome quick actions, cannot return to schedule is the biggest problem. This is why at some point you're going to need to get into IFTTT and set it up the most efficient way. So you go to your IFTTT account, which you've already set up. You want to start making applets for Google Home and Evhome. Now, you obviously need to add IFTTT to your Google Home account. It will ask you that. I've already done mine, but when you go through this process, it will ask you for your login details, and then you can link the 2 accounts. So I will just go to make a new applet. I'm going to go and add Google Assistant, because of course you don't need Google Home or Google Mini. You can do all this just with your Google Assistant via your phone. I've got some options here, so I just want to say a simple phrase. And when I say those words, I want the Google Assistant in response to say to me, okay, setting custom quick action. I'm going to create that trigger. I now need to fire something from that trigger, which is going to be my Evhome. Now I've already got that set up as a service in IFTTT. So obviously, the first time you do anything like that, you've got to set up your login details for just the first time. I'm going to go to my Evhome, and I've got options. It's nothing to do with hot water. Enable a quick action, disable a quick action, set a zone temperature. Disable a quick action will actually overcome any setting, even if you're not in a quick action, but you've used your Google Assistant to say set a temperature to 30 degrees. If I then say disable a quick action, it will go back to the normal schedule mode. So that's worth remembering, because that's always your get out clause wherever you are, whatever's happened. But in this case, I'm going to enable custom action. I can select a duration, but I just want it on forever until I say something else. So I've created this applet. If you say turn on quick action, then enable a quick action. Just one example to show you how much easier it is using it with IFTTT, after obviously you've had to set up an applet for each command. So I couldn't get out of the off mode using straight Google Home. I've now set IFTTT to integrate with Google Assistant, so I'm going to use a different command. OK Google, set quick action custom.
Setting custom heating mode.
And you don't even get the lag that you get with Google Home on its own. So even though it's going the same route and an extra hop, it's actually quicker than using Google Home on its own. And you have to use it this way if you're going to overcome quick actions. And in the real world, obviously, if you're using Evhome, at some point you're going to be using quick actions, even if it's just to turn it off. The only way to get back to schedule is to disable all quick actions. You can't do that via Google Home. You have to do it by having another applet that says to disable all quick actions, and I know that will always get me back to schedule. So I've got my disable quick action to react to when I tell it to return to schedule. Okay Google, return to schedule.
Okay, returning heat to schedule.
And that's gone back to schedule, and all it actually did was disable all quick actions, which is actually a cover-all for wherever you are, will get back to your normal schedule mode, even if you're not in a quick action. So if you're mixing commands with Google Home, that's your get out clause. So that's my overview of Google Home or Google Assistant integrating with Evohome, but a lot of it will be for any heating system you are integrating. And just as of course you don't need a Google Home, you don't need a Google Mini, you can use your Google Assistant. I will say some of the problems that I've been getting with Google Mini is overcome using my phone. I can only presume the mic isn't that great on the Google Home. My voice is not the easiest sometimes to understand. It can't quite understand me, whereas the phone probably has a better mic input and it understands me fine. So if you've got Evhome, these are some of the things you can do. Of course, you can do a lot of that with Amazon Alexa as well. So thank you for watching.
UK